Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham. So last two videos I have explained you about the allowances which are given by the employer to the employees. So last videos I have explained you the meaning of the term allowance. It's a fixed monetary benefit given by the employer to the employee for a specific purpose, like dearness allowance, house rent allowance, city compensatory allowance, medical allowance, lunch allowance, etc. etc. And all the allowances are divided into different categories: fully taxable allowance, fully exempted allowance, and partly taxable, partly exempted allowance. All these things I have explained in the last two videos. Now in this video, I'm going to solve the problems on allowances. So if you have not watched the earlier videos, I suggest you go to the playlist of my channel. Select the subject income tax for the assessment year 23-24. Select the videos of allowances. Be perfect about the provisions. Then you can understand these problems. So before starting the problems, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. Always keep it ready. Take the screenshot of the points which I have written on the board. Then I'll explain every problem in detail. Now, see the first problem. Problems on allowances. Srimati Sravanti is working as an officer in Andhra Pradesh government. So first point, the assessee is a government employee. Her salary particulars are basic pay 11,000 per month, CCA 900 per month, entertainment allowance 1,000 per month, and compute the amount of EA, entertainment allowance, to be allowed as deduction. In the last video, I've explained you EA reduction under section 16(2) will be allowed only for government employees. For non-government employees, it is not allowed. First of all, whatever EA is received, that will be included under allowances. Later on, deduction will be given under section 16(2). This deduction is available only for government employees. So how much deduction? List of the following three amounts. First one is 20% of salary. Second, actual year received. Third one, fixed ceiling given by Income Tax Act, that is rupees 5,000. Now, how to proceed with this problem? See here. Srimati Savanti, calculation of EA reduction under section 16(2). Assessee is a government employee. So, EA reduction 16(2) is allowed to the list of the following. 20% of salary. Here, the meaning of salary is only basic. Only basic salary we should take. In the problem it is given basic salary 11,000 per month. So 11,000 into 12 is 1,32,000. So 20% of 1,32,000, 26,400. Second, actual year received is given in the problem as 1,000 per month. So 1,000 into 12, 12,000. And the fixed ceiling given by Income Tax Act, 5,000. The least of these three is 5,000. So EA reduction under section 16(2), 5,000. That's it. Second problem. Sri Raghavendra, age 45 years, is working in Ministry of Home Government. And his wife Srimati Nirmala Ghosh, age 40 years, is working in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of India. That means wife and husband both are government employees. Their monthly salary particulars are given below. Per month, basic, DA, HRA, EA and CCA. Sri Rajendra, basic salary 28,000 per month. DA 50%, HRA 20%, EA 13,000 and CCA 2,000. And Srimati Nirmala Ghosh, 55,000 basic, 50% DA, 20% HRA and 15,000 EA. CCA 2,000. Both of them wants to claim deduction under section 16(2). Is it possible or not? Give your note as an ITO. If you are an income tax officer, will you allow deduction for both wife and husband? The answer is, from income tax point of view, both are different individuals. The social or relationship should not be seen. When both are government employees, both of them will get deduction under section 16(2). Both of them are government employees, so deduction can be given. For claiming deduction under section 16(2) towards EA, matrimonial relation or social relationship are not to be considered. That point you remember. As an ITO, no objection. Both of them will get EA deduction because both are government employees. EA deduction is list of the following to 20% of salary actual EA received or fixed 5,000. First, we calculate EA deduction for Sri Rajendra. 20% of salary. Monthly salary 28,000. 28,000 into 12. Then into 20%, you will get 67,200. Actual year received 1,56,000 or fixed ceiling 5,000. Least of these three, 5,000 is allowed as deduction. Srimati Nirmala Ghosh, 20% of 6,60,000 is the salary of the year. Into 20%, 1,32,000. Actual year received 1,80,000 or fixed ceiling amount is 5,000. So least of these three, 5,000. So both of them will get 5,000 rupees EA deduction under section 16(2). That's it. Now problem number 3. Mr. Raghu is working as a lecturer in Government College Surat for the last 25 years. Monthly salary particulars are basic pay 8,000, DA 5,000, education allowance to his children 800, EA entertainment allowance 1,200. On 1st January 23, he retired and joined a private college as lecturer for the same pay. Calculate deduction to be allowed under section 16(2). Here the new point is 1st January 2023. He retired and joined a private organization. The first 9 months he was a government employee. Remaining 3 months he was a non-government employee. In that case, deduction will be given because he is a government employee for first 9 months. But one point is that the ceiling amount is 5,000, which is fixed. It is not 5,000 per annum. Don't reduce 5,000. The 5,000 amount will be fixed. Whereas for other salary etc. will take only for 9. Salary will take 9 months. But actual year received fully you have to take. Whether he received EA from government employer or non-government employer, complete year received will be taken. So here the status of the SSC for the first 9 months is government employee. So deduction is allowed. 5,000 is to be considered as ceiling in amount as deduction and it is not to be taken as 5,000 per annum. So don't reduce that 5,000. 5,000 will be the ceiling amount. And the deduction under section 16(2) is list of the following to 20% of salary. He has received salary from government employer as well as non-government, but will take the salary of government employee. So he was getting 8,000 per month into 9 months into 20%. He will get 14,400. Actual EA received 1,200 into 12. It is given in the problem that EA is same in the government employee and non-government employee. So for 12 months he has received EA. So complete EA received 14,400. Ceiling amount is fixed 5,000. Whichever is least. So 5,000 will be allowed as EA deduction under section 16(2). Next, fourth problem. The following are the income particulars of Mr. Jeevan Sai for the previous year relevant to the current assessment year. Current assessment year 2023-24. Then basic pay 14,000 per month. DA 1,800 per month. EA entertainment allowance 3,000 per month. Calculate the amount of deduction allowed in the following cases under section 16(2). A, B, C, D. 4 cases are there. In each case, we have to find out how much EA reduction under section 16(2) will be allowed, one by one. The first case, if he is a government employee, case 1. So you can see, Mr. Jeevan Sai, if government employee, if the SSC is a government employee, so EA reduction will be allowed to the least of the following 3 amounts. 20% of salary. Here salary is given 14,000 per month. So 14,000 into 12, 1,68,000 into 20%, 33,600. Actual year received is 3,000 per month. So 3,000 per month into 12, 36,000. Or fixed ceiling amount 5,000. Whichever is least. 5,000 will be allowed as deduction. The second B point is if he is a non-government employee. For non-government employee, EA deduction under section 16.2 will not be allowed. No EA deduction 16.2 if is allowed for non-government employees. Third case, if he is a local authority, municipal employee and the actual amount spent towards entertainment expense 2,000 per month. The Income Tax Act says if he is a government employee, whether central government or state government, it will be allowed. For local bodies employees or municipal employees, this EA deduction 16.2 will not be allowed, specifically given the provision. So here you should write, no deduction is allowed for local authority employee or municipal employees. Last one, if an EA was granted for official purpose, if the employer has given the EA only for official, not for personal use, it is not an income at all. The employee is receiving EA and spending the EA on official duties. So it is not an income. When it is not an income, then no deduction under section 16.2 will be allowed. If any amount is unspent, for example, if he is getting 2,000 per month, 3,000 per month EA, out of 3,000, 2,000 he has spent on official duties and 1,000 is unspent, then unspent amount will be taxable if the amount is received for official. If nothing is given, we assume the complete amount received for official purpose is fully not an income and no deduction will be allowed. That's it. Not taxable and no deduction is allowed if EA is given for official purpose. So we have completed 4 problems. Now I am going to explain you about the 5th problem. First 4 problems are EA, entertainment allowance. Just now I have explained. Now from 5th problem onwards we have HRA, house rent allowance. This is the allowance given by the employer to the employee for meeting the expenses of rent. So the provisions are HRA exemption will be allowed if the SSC is paying the rent. If the SSC is living in his own house, no rent is paid. Or if he is living in a house where no rent is payable, in that case, actual HRA received is fully taxable. Exemption will not be given. So the thing you have to remember is whether rent is paid or not. For government employees and non-government employees, same provision. There is no difference between government employee and non-government employee for giving HRA exemption. The only condition we have to see whether actual rent is paid or not. That is the deciding point. Mrs. Sravani Rai is working as a lecturer in a government college. We are not concerned government college or any college. Delhi. This point you have to remember. Because the provision for giving HRA exemption is first 4 metropolitan cities, that is Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai. The provisions are different. The rest of India, the provisions are different. So here the SSC is living in Delhi. Her salary particulars per annum are as under basic pay 80,000 per annum, DA 38,000, CCA 16,000 and HRA 23,000. So in 1 year, 23,000 HRA, house rent allowance is received. Rent paid by her is 21,000. Calculate the exempted amount of HRA, house rent allowance. First of all, you should write in the solution that HRA exemption will be allowed because the SSC is paying the rent and stays at Delhi. So here, where is that? Here. Mrs. Sravani Rai, the SSC is paying the rent and stays at Delhi. So the HRA is exempted to the list of the following 3 amount. Actual HRA received, it is given in the problem, actual HRA received 23,000. So I have taken actual HRA received 23,000. Rent paid minus 10% of salary. This is the second point. Rent paid is 21,000, that is given. 10% of salary. Here salary means basic pay only, but DA will be included if it enters for retirement benefit. If specifically given that DA is entering for retirement benefit, that DA should also be included in the salary. But here DA is not entering into retirement benefit. Only DA is given, don't include. If the wording entering for retirement benefit wordings are there, then only you should include. Otherwise, we should not include DA, only basic. So here basic pay is 80,000. So 10% of 80,000, 8,000. 21 minus 8, 13,000. Second point. Third point. 50% of salary, 50% of 80,000 is 40,000. The least among these three is 13,000. So exempted amount of HRA is 13,000. And one point you remember, if the SSC stays in 4 metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, here you should take 50%. Other than these 4 cities, if the SSC stay, take 40%. That is the only difference. 40 and 50. So exempted HRA is 13,000 and remaining is taxable. Next problem. Mr. Sahadev is in receipt of 1,62,000 as basic salary, 56,000 as HRA and 27,000 as DA. It is not given that DA is entering for retirement benefit. So we should not take DA. If the rent paid is 62,000, determine the taxable amount of HRA in the following situations. 4 situations are given. In each situation, we have to find out how much is a taxable HRA. That is the new point. First, if he is a government employee and residing in Mumbai, for giving the HRA exemption, we should not see whether government employee or non-government employee, because both the cases, the provisions are same. The only thing we have to see whether paying the rent or not and where he is staying or she is staying. So here, Mr. Sadev, first case, government employee and residing in Mumbai. So here the SSC is paying the rent. So HRA exemption is allowed to the list of the following 3 amounts. Actual HRA received 56,000 given in the problem. Second, rent paid minus 10% of salary. Rent paid is given in the problem 62,000. And 10% of salary. How much is the salary? 1,62,000 is the salary. So 10% of 1,62,000, 16,200. 62,000 minus 16,200, you will get 45,800. Now the SSC is living in Mumbai. It is a metropolitan city. So take 50% of salary. 50% of 1,62,000, 81,000. Which is the least among these 3 amounts? 45,800 is exempted. Now in the problem, is it asking you to calculate exempted HRA or taxable HRA? That you have to see. Now in this problem, it is asking you taxable HRA. So first you take actual HRA received, 56,000. From actual HRA received, deduct the exempted HRA. Exempted HRA is 45,800. Deduct 45,800, 10,200 is the taxable HRA. Only taxable HRA should be taken under allowances. First case completed. Now second case, non-government employee and residing at Mumbai. Whether government or non-government does not make any difference. The only thing, first case he was living in Mumbai. Now second case also living in Mumbai. The only thing, first case government employee, second case non-government. No difference at all. The taxable HRA will remain same for government employee as well as non-government employee. So same thing, 10,200 is a taxable HRA. Third case, residing in Hyderabad city, list of the following 3 amounts. Here, the city is not for metropolitan city, other city. So here instead of 50%, now we take 40%. That is the only difference. So actual HRA received, same 56,000. Rent paid minus 10% of salary, same 45,800. And 40% of salary. Instead of 50%, now I have taken 40% because Hyderabad city. So 40% of 1,62,000, 64,800. Least is 45,800. Now deduct. Actual HRA received 56,000. Exempted HRA 45,800. Taxable HRA is 10,200. 3 cases finished. last fourth case. Residing in father-in-law's house without paying any rent. The SSC is staying in his father-in-law's house for which no rent is paid. So Income Tax Act says HRA exemption will be allowed only if rent is paid. If rent is not paid, no exemption will be allowed. Whatever HRA is received, completely taxable. So here 56,000 is the actual HRA received. Complete 56,000 is taxable. That's it. So in this video, I have explained you 4 problems on EA deduction and remaining 3 problems on HRA exemption. Inshallah, we will continue the next problem in the next video.